the video lectures were really helpful. They saved so much time, and especially in sections like endocrinology or rheumatology and gastroenterology, I loved the lectures. I would go through the lectures, I would make notes, and I would stick them in my Harrison.
So I bring in all the wishes and greetings on behalf of all the faculty members of Speed Medical Institute to Dr. Devang Sadhwani for scoring rank number 77 in DM Medical Group and NEET SS 2025 session. Congratulations to you, Doctor.
Thank you, sir.
So great to have you in this session, and it's wonderful that you can spare time to share your experiences with us. And can you let us know your brief background history from where you started till date, what all you have done?
Sir, I did my undergraduation from BJMC Ahmedabad, and I did my post graduation from GCS Medical College, again Ahmedabad. And this was my first attempt for NEET SS.
Wow, great. First attempt, best attempt, and the great attempt.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So, can we know what is your super specialty choice?
Sir, I decided very early I wanted to go for gastroenterology. So that is what I'll be going for.
Great, wonderful. Now, why gastroenterology?
So I love an interventional branch. I know I am not someone who can sit in an OPD and see maybe 100 patients a day, just write prescriptions. So I really wanted to go for an interventional branch.
So, you want to do an interview, an ERCP, endoscopy, all those procedures.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you decided to do a super specialty as a especially in gastro, want to accomplish your dream. What all you did, how you started, when you started? Can you share some of your preparation strategies that you could achieve in the first attempt itself?
Sir, I started watching videos in early half of the second year, in the first part of second year, and we used to have lectures in college. So we would prepare preparations and teach students and teach our juniors. So that is how I began. And that is what really helped me. I would watch videos and make some notes and put them in my textbook. And I eventually ended up reading Harrison only for my MD exams and even for this. And we got done with our finals in end of October. So that gave me 2 months to prepare for this NEET assess. And all I did in those 2 months were questions because that was a mistake I made in NEET PG. I did not do enough questions, so I decided very early that this time I'll only solve questions, get a feel of the exam, get a feel of how the questions work. And the last 2 months after my MD exams were only questions, questions, and questions.
Great. Now, can you share what all you prepared through Harrison, how you prepared through Harrison? And there is a recent edition of book of Harrison also came, 22nd edition. How you could switch on from 21 to 22? Can you share something on that?
So the recent Harrison came in July of last year, I think, and so I got the recent edition also, and I would the topics I'd read from the old edition, I would open the same topics in the recent edition, see the tables mainly because those were the major changes, and some of the changes in certain sections like neurology had new treatments. So all of those I would annotate in the textbook I had read, take a sticky note and stick it there. And the rest was again obviously questions. I was hoping the questions would, let us help with the updates, and whatever I would get wrong or whatever I read the first time, I would again add to my notes.
Okay. So how you introduced to speed? Who introduced speed to you, and how you enrolled there, and how you could get
So
on?
my brother actually is a surgical oncologist, so he took speed for his preparation. So he suggested that I go for it. And you had the 3 year Harrison based teaching, so that is what I went for because I would watch a video and then Harrison reading would become much easier, much faster. And obviously, you do not get a lot of time in residency to read. So, watching the video made Harrison reading easier. And I am someone who cannot do without reading textbooks. So, that really helped. It was a perfect combination.
So it was almost 3 years of your preparation.
Well,
So from your
thankfully,
result
it
to now
wasn't.
residency.
Yeah.
So who motivated you to start early?
So, my brother. And because, like I said, my NEET PG wasn't as great as I wanted it to be. So, I, had that thing that I wanted to do much better in my super specialty. So I began maybe early second year. We obviously had to read Harrison. So I began reading Harrison very early. and that helped because Harrison, I reiterate, reading textbooks I think is very important, and Harrison is all I read these 2 years.
So when you joined, we have been taking classes from 21st edition. Then after that, this year from July of 22nd edition, we have to switch on because of the change of edition.
Yeah, so I
We
just
could
went
revise
through.
it.
So I, like I said, I went through the updates. I took the new textbook, I compared, and whatever I could find, I would just go through your videos on a fast forward basis and add those to my notes.
Great, wonderful. How many questions did you attend this exam?
So I attempted only 136 and I left 14 questions, and that in the last 10 days was giving me major anxiety. But I had given 6 or 7 grand tests during my 2 month preparation, and that is how I had always done. I could not get myself to attempt questions that, I was clearly clueless about. So I would always leave around 10, 15 questions. About 10% of the questions in all grand tests. And I did acceptably well. I would get something around 50 to 75 all India rank. And so I backed myself and chose that. I thought it would be better to, get a higher strike rate in my questions, get few incorrect than getting more incorrect and losing those marks.
Great. Now, can you share something on the paper? I mean, what was the paper? What are they asking? Was it only a NEET PG exit standard, or there were a super specialty standard was also included in that?
So there were super specialty standard based questions, but I found that almost, except for the last section was a curveball this time. I'm sure you've heard the last 50 questions were all environmental emergencies and toxicology and things that, you don't really prepare for when you're preparing for NEET essays. Those are very niche topics that not a lot of us even see in our residency. So otherwise, the rest of the paper, I think the first 100 questions was pretty standard. 80% to 85% of the questions were which you could answer if you'd read Harrison and done your residency well. The last 10% questions are rank maker questions anyway. But I think 85 to 90% questions you could get if you'd read Harrison.
Great. Now, can you share your experiences with speed and how it helped you to get on to this exam?
So like I said, the video lectures were really helpful. They saved so much time, and especially in sections like endocrinology or rheumatology and gastroenterology, I loved the lectures. I would go through the lectures, I would make notes, and I would stick them in my Harrison, and that Harrison was my Bible for 2 years.
Okay,
And the last 2 months were spent doing all questions. Again, the question bank is great. Some of the questions are really tough. They would stress me out, but all of that made me exam ready.
excellent. Now, what will be advice for future aspirants of DM Super Speciality?
So I think reading textbooks is the way to go. And the more you've read Harrison in these 3 years, and the more and your patients teach you. There is only so much you can do in the last 1.5 months of preparation that you get. But the 3 years are make and break, and I really think standard textbooks and patients are the way to go. And then MCQs in the last 1.5 month to get exam ready, because otherwise the exam can be very daunting in an examination hall.
Great. Time to thank and whom all you want to thank that they helped you from day one till date they built your career.
So my family, they have been such a rock these last 3 years because residency is not easy, not just for the resident, but even for the family. And my professors who were really considerate, who were always helpful, who were always supportive, and everyone at speed, of course.
Great. We once again wish you all the very best and all the success for a great career in DM gastroenterology. And as a gastroenterologist, you're going to touch millions of life and they're going to be benefited out of your services. Once again, we wish you all the very best and all the success
Thank
for
you,
a
sir.
great career.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. All the best. Bye bye.
Bye.